The treatment for hypernatremia is either if the patient is conscious to give oral water, or if the patient is intubated and unable to take orally, then giving 5% dextrose slowly is the treatment of choice. Now here there are a couple of points that we need to understand. One is that 5% dextrose is as good as giving water. The reason being, if you realize by the label 5% dextrose means that for every 100 ml of water, there is 5 grams of dextrose in that solution. So once the dextrose is metabolized by the body, there is all that is left is water. So it is as good as giving water. The other popular misconception about 5% dextrose is that it gives calories and it can increase the sugar levels in diabetic patients. That is also not entirely true, because the amount of glucose that it has got is very less. 5 grams of glucose will, because each gram of glucose gives about 4 calories, so the amount of calories given by the 5% dextrose solution is very less. So a 500 ml bag will give only 100 kilocalories of energy to the patient. So never go under the presumption that 5% dextrose is a energy giving or sugar increasing solution. It is practically giving just water to the patient. So the indications for 5% dextrose use are very limited. The second point we should know in treatment of hypernatremia is never correct sodium rapidly. So don't bring sodium from 160 to 140 in a couple of hours time, because that can cause rapid shift of fluid between cells and the serum, and that can cause cerebral edema and can cause deleterious effects myelin degeneration and permanent damage, cerebral damage. The reason being, sodium is an important contributor to the osmotic pressure in the vascular bed. So inside the blood vessel, I'm sure you all would have heard of what is called as the Starling's equation, wherein the factors that are responsible for retaining the fluid in the vascular compartment are competing with the factors that are trying to draw fluid from the tissue compartment. So the net osmotic pressure of the proteins plus sodium in the vascular compartment is responsible for holding the fluid or the water inside the vascular compartment. If for some reason, if the protein component or the sodium component in the tissues is increased, then water will start being drawn out of the vascular compartment into the tissues, and that's when patients develop edema. So in heart failure conditions and all, one of the principal contributors is that. So whenever sodium correction is needs to be done, it needs to be done very slowly, and please follow the textbook guidelines as to how it needs to be done. Here we are not talking about the exact details. I'm not going into the exact modality of treatments, but what I'm trying to emphasize is the concepts that you need to have in treating such situations. So in hypernatremia, whenever the situation arises, either give and the best way to treat it is giving enteral fluids. So even in an intubated patient, the best way to give is through a NG tube or a Ryle's tube. You can give free water in between the meals every 50 ml per hour or so. Just keep giving fluid. I say that is the best method, because when we give it enterally, the body gets to decide how much fluid it wants to keep and how much fluid it wants to get rid of. Whereas if we give it intravenously, we are forcing that amount of volume onto the system for it to handle. So if it is too much, then the body has to handle it, and most commonly what it does is it either sends it to the third space, and more importantly, if the patient is having borderline renal function, then it will cause pulmonary edema and tissue edema, which could be detrimental. So always prefer the enteral route for either medication or fluid therapy than intravenous route, and anyone should only embark on intravenous route only if enteral route is not adequate, or the medication or the fluid can only be given through intravenous route or should be given rapidly, as in hypertensive situation. Now, whenever hypernatremia treatment is happening, we should check regularly what are the sodium levels, either on blood gas machine or clinically sending the electrolytes on a regular basis, maybe once 8th hourly or something like that. Or a ABG machine is more easy to do bedside, and most blood gas machines do measure sodium, and that can help with the situation.